Hey guys, what's happened? It's Thanatos here. Man, it's been a while. I think it's been close to a month and a half since I recorded my last video. I just didn't have the drive. But I'm back. As you can see on my screen, the Delta Recruit stuff's going on. I do have a Delta Recruit. No, I will not be doing a Let's Play on that. You want to see that, go check out the umpteen thousand other YouTube channels out there that do this. However, excuse me, last time we took down the Vaudois and found some mysterious artifact. So, let's finish this. A new featured episode, I will be doing a playthrough on that. Probably going to record it after this. Personal rule, I like to do featured episodes on Elite. Looking at my gear and the trouble I did a few STFs on Advanced. It got my ass handed to me, so I'm going to be doing these on normal difficulty. Just sheer fact of, if I can get the right screen, bulk of my gear is still Mark 12. I don't out-gear it. I don't have the gear for, I might be able to pull off Advanced, but I just don't have the gear to handle Elite. And looking at it, doing it on Elite just means the mobs hit harder and have a harder difficulty, or have more health. You don't get any bonuses, you don't get any extra experience from what I've seen from playing it on a normal, Advanced, or Elite. The only exception to that are the STFs, which for most people translates into dungeons. Then you got fleet actions, which are your raids, if you want to get all technical. I have no idea how long this episode What's Left Behind is, so if it's real short, I'm going to tag it in with Dust to Dust. So, let's get started. What's Left Behind?
Admiral Tuvok and Captain Kim are leading the analysis of the artifact you found on Vaudois Prime. I knew you'd want to be there for the great reveal, so I've arranged for you and your crew to be part of the team. Rendezvous with Voyager to get started.
Lucky Kit Module, Subspace. Universal Kit. Huh. 9,000, so it looks like it might be a full-up mission. Okay. So let's do this. Thankfully, I pre-positioned myself. Oh, and I no longer dwarf the ships. They tore down the sector walls, so no more load screens. Just space. Now, there are still quadrant load screens, but no sector blocks load screens. You can never be too careful. There are still these load screens, but yes, folks, that is an Iconian. Oh, and we got the double load screen bug. Welcome back.
Welcome back to Voyager. We were about to begin studying the device you recovered from Gall's communication center. Since you have spearheaded much of our efforts here, I would like you to take the lead once again. Captain Kim and 7 of 9 are at your disposal. Talk with them if you need more help deciphering the device. When you finish your analysis, return to me for further orders. I will be here in the transporter room to see you off.
Okay. Go to engineering. Those are the heralds of the Iconians. Spoiler alert. Dr. Kim.
Glad you're here. We transported the device to engineering here so we could run all the scans and tests we could think of. The first thing we need to do is determine how it's communicating. We can't find any normal transmissions from it, but We're hoping you have some new ideas to bring to the table.
Analyze. Analyzing. Okay. I just randomly
The device
chose.
communicates with subspace. We should have guessed that. Now comes the hard part. We need to access the device's memory core. The engineering team here on Voyager is good, and I've heard your team is top-notch. But it might take more time than we have for either team to make a full analysis. We should have both teams give you their opinions on the device. If we work together, hopefully we can make a breakthrough.
Okay.
You'll need to set switches on the device until we get solid readings. We'll be able to tell if switches are in the correct position, but not which switches. Good luck.
Okay.
The engineering teams are reading big zeros across the board.
Okay.
The engineering teams are reading big zeros.
Process of
The
elimination.
engineering teams. Sir, I've consulted with both the engineers here on Voyager and your chief engineer. I am seeing green across the board. All the switches are in the correct position, and we now have access to the primary memory core of the device. Unfortunately, we're only halfway there. Now we need to access the secondary memory core to get full access to the data we need.
Okay. Time to play Guess the Switches number 2. Maybe. Yep. Start with 1.
The engineers. Looks like you did it again. All the switches are in the correct position, and we now have full access to the memory core of the device. 7 of 9 should be of assistance in accessing the memory banks of that device. She's in astrometrics, attempting to get a fix on the location of who or what is receiving these transmissions.
Okay. Open. Hi, 7.
We have access to the databanks of the device. Very efficient work. From the data we have received so far, we will be able to pinpoint the exact transmission coordinates. However, it is possible that doing so may alert whomever is on the other end that we have reverse-engineered their technology. There are 3 likely ways to get at the information. I suggest further analysis to determine the best course of action.
Okay. Okay. Huh. Well, let's go multi-vectored quarry. Okay. Alrighty. Hey, look, it's the doctor.
Fascinating. Excellent work. With this location, we may be able to finally reveal who gave the Vaadwaur their advanced technology, and why the neuroparasites appeared again, in this time and place. Commander Jarrah of the Romulan Republic has requested to join you on this operation. Her own analysis of the device has shown that the Romulans have had some contact with the creators of this device, a race known as the Ilachi. She will meet you in subspace at the given coordinates.
Okay.
Finally, Voyager's emergency medical hologram, the Doctor, will be assigned to your crew. His knowledge of the Delta Quadrant races may prove invaluable. He's not much of a combatant, but should prove useful.
Okay. Hey, doctor. Okay. The fuck was that? Oh. What's left behind? Yeah, this is a full mission. Hey look, it's a Lachi! Let's blow it up.
Greetings. This is Commander Jirok of the RRW Lisette. When we learned that the Alachi were involved, I requested to shadow you on this mission.
Okay.
I know your experience with the Alachi is limited. The Romulan Republic, however, has an extensive history with this race. The Tal Shiar used Alachi to help invade Virinat, a colony made up of Romulan refugees seeking to make a new life for themselves. The two factions worked together to convince Romulan colonies to join the Tal Shiar. It was in spite of this that the Romulan Republic was forged. We fought off the Tal Shiar and eventually made a stand against the Alachi at New Romulus. Many Romulans gave their lives in defense of our new homeworld. But that final defense seemed to quiet Alachi attacks for quite some time, barring the occasional incursion from subspace.
Okay.
All right, we'll follow your... We're seeing 3 patrol groups. Recommend we eliminate them before we board the station.
Sounds good to me. Oh right, I forgot I had that thing equipped. One thing I like about beam arrays, they always find their target. Every time to dust off my machine again. What do I get? An aux battery. Okay. Gotta go. Oh, I lost a fighter. How clumsy of me. The life expectancy of a fighter pilot. Slim to none. Yeah, you're boned. Don't I have tractor beam here somewhere?
Another Alachi ship is here to defend the outpost. Don't exactly play well with others.
Science fleet. It's been a while. I have to figure out what half my abilities do. That's hazard emitters. That's traffic. What do you do to me? Okay. Ops. to away team.
I was thinking we should split up and cover as much of the facility as we can, unless you have a better idea.
Doc, what's your idea?
This is obviously an Alachi facility. What I know about them comes from the Romulan Republic's databases, but I should be able to learn more as we examine this location. The air here is suitable for the Alachi, which means that you may find breathing difficult. I, of course, do not have that problem. If you have an environmental suit, or even some sort of rebreather, you will be fine. If you don't, keep an eye out for something that could help filter out the toxins.
All I got is that.
These are Solanae tables. I've read the Enterprise D's reports about them.
The lag. Yeah, it's time to air out my machine.
These are definitely Solanae tables, which, if I'm correct, and I always am, is the same race you dealt with after using the Iconian Gateway on New Romulus. The Solanae kidnap victims through subspace for their brutal experiments. If they are somehow connected to the Alachi and the Vadwar, this is beginning to make more sense. If I had to guess, there must be a stasis room.
Okay. Let's get this ore. I actually need resources now. Something over here? Huh. Looks Borg almost. Okay. Hi. I don't know if this is my system or the game, but... Huh, that looks interesting.
It looks as if they are converting their captives into more Alachi. If my readings are correct, there are several individuals here who have only just begun the conversion.
see what's in these crates real fast.
Good. You found the breathing hole. That should take care of that nasty cough.
Okay. Alright, let's equip these real fast. Alright. Who's all on my team? Alright. Let's read some
We're
Romulans.
transporting you to a Romulan ship in orbit. You're going to be fine. Ah, a Hazari. Stay calm. We'll get you the medical attention you need.
Hey, look, a Klingon.
This is no way for a proud Klingon warrior to go out. We'll patch him up immediately.
Yeah.
Everything will be fine, Mr. Teray. We'll beam you directly to sickbay.
Kazon.
A Kazon? Even the Borg won't assimilate a Kazon.
That's pretty bad when the Borg won't even touch you.
You'll be back on duty before you know it. One to beam up.
Now, where's that last one? Ah, right here. Talaxian.
Transport this Talaxium directly to sickbay. Well, the Solanae are definitely involved. I believe I have everything I need from this area. The door is unlocked now. We should keep going.
Oh, hey, what's this? Z particles. I think this is a rare. Yeah, rare. Nice. But yeah, in missions that I do record from now on, I am going to stop and pick up those crafting mats because I need them. What I really wish, and Cryptic, if you watch these, add like a disenchant feature where you can break items down into components. There will probably, I'm not going to promise anything, but there will most likely be universal joy from the fandom, from your players. Oh, hello. Did I miss anybody? Yeah, I guess so. Not. Looks like it's over there somewhere. Alright, what am I missing? Move to window. Okay.
This is odd. You sound like you're in a Solanae lab, but we're in some place that looks like a prison. In fact, I'd say that's exactly what it is. And they've just had a breakout.
prison break. Maybe I should go back to the ship.
You're a hologram, Doc. Oh. I'm always forgetting that.
Neural parasites. This must be where the Vaadwaur were implanted with those mind-controlling bugs. Neural parasites. Just as I suspected. Did you know that several Starfleet officers were infected by these in the mid-2360s? The Enterprise logs from that era are fascinating reading if you ever have a few dozen hours to spare. If Gaul and the infected Vaadwaur were communicating with this station, it stands to reason that this may be the facility where the bluegill implantation takes place. We should definitely investigate further. If we can find the implantation room, then I should be able to analyze their equipment and gather more information.
Oh, okay.
I don't believe it. The empirical evidence is right in front of me, but I'm actually having difficulty processing this information.
What is it?
This tech, this whole facility, it's Iconian.
Dun dun
There
dun.
are variations on the norm, of course, because of the Solanae and Delachi influence, but I see distinct signs of their presence throughout the facility. The Iconians, as we know them, rarely reveal themselves. The only known interaction with an Iconian in modern history took place on Kronos, when... Wait, you were there! I don't need to explain that situation again. As I was saying, the Iconians don't like to act directly. They use servitor races, like the Alachi and the Solanae, to cause chaos in their name. And the neural parasites, they've bioengineered. Rather like the founders created the Jem'Hadar, but sophisticated enough to control another species, and with much less free will. The parasites are a weapon. When Voyager revived the Vaadwaur, their technology was outdated compared to what other powers in the Delta Quadrant had at that time. Even the Kazon outdid them. But now, Vaadwaur technology is cutting edge. The only way they could have advanced so far, so fast, was by allying themselves with someone else, with the Iconians. The Vaadwaur got their tech upgrades from them, but they also got the neural parasites. The parasites gave the Vaadwaur power, but they gave the Iconians control. They were ultimately the ones pulling the strings. This entire war has been against an enemy we didn't even see.
Oh, hello. Oh look, a lockbox. Oh look, they fly. How cute. Where'd that flyer go? There it is. Okay.
This is more like a factory than a laboratory. Some of this technology is ancient, but it's quite advanced.
Yeah. Select the Alachi with the blue effects. Okay. But first... need the whatchamacallit, uranium.
These parasites aren't a natural species at all. They look engineered.
Okay, well, let's go take out this Alachi. Control 1. Ah, damn, new field.
I think we're catching up with the escapees, and they might be from the Alpha Block. We found a dead Romulan in prisoner garb. He was part of the breakout, but I don't know if he was part of the Republic or loyal to the Tal Shiar. Keep an eye out. The prisoners are headed in your direction.
Maybe we should avoid any potential contact with the prisoner? I think I've seen enough combat for today.
Ah, suck it up, Doc. Watch, it's tough. What's her name? Sela! Yep. Phaser rifle.
Humans. Always showing up when you're least expected.
Yeah, we're good at doing that, Sela.
More Alachi. I don't think the Iconians want me to leave. Their tenacity is almost admirable.
I need a fast weapon. I need to get a minigun back. I'll say this. Good loot.
Looks like you could use a hand.
And now we have their leader's attention.
kill you where you stand. It will be justice for all the lives you've destroyed.
And if you do, you'll never learn about the Iconians. I've been here for months. I've seen enough to know you need my help.
Fine, you interrogate her. I might get a little carried away. But she returns with me to the Lisette when you're finished here. Sela is a prisoner of the Romulan Republic. Your government can go through official channels if they want to talk to her.
You and this Sela person seem to have some history. I'll leave you to speak to her.
Not so fast. You have the weapons, but I have the information. If you want to learn what I know, you'll need to keep those Romulan rebels under control. You've stumbled into something much greater than you're prepared to handle. I'm the best ally you have.
Talk.
I assume you already know where you are. Both the Alachi and the Solanae serve the Iconians. The Alachi are their warriors, and the Solanae are their scientists. They're the ones who created those creatures implanted into the Vaadwaur. Hakiv joined the Iconians out of faith. He thought the Iconians would create an empire he could rule. That did not go as planned. This time the Iconians wanted to control their puppets. When the Vaadwaur asked for strength to defeat their enemies, the Iconians gave them the parasites. The Vaadwaur had strength, but also strings. Strings that have now been cut. I'm sure you had something to do with
Yeah.
it.
Alongside an alliance.
All three of you working together? The world has changed in my absence. Or were the Vaadwaur that much of a threat to the Alpha Quadrant?
Actually, we're in the Delta Quadrant.
That explains some things. I'd love an escort back to the world at large, but I have a feeling you have some questions first.
I do.
I'll answer what I can. You can believe what you want. How important is that, really? I worked with the Iconians because, at the time, I thought it was the best thing for my people. After we lost the homeworld, we were scattered, starving. A shadow of what we once were. What were we supposed to do? Beg the Federation or the Klingons for scraps? Pathetic. The so-called Romulan Republic has made their way, but they did it at the cost of Romulan dignity. We are not refugees. We are Romulan. We needed a strong leader to bind us together again, and I knew I could be that leader. The Iconians were a means to an end. They gave us strength at a time when we were at our weakest. Had I known what Hakiv, what he and the Iconians did to our world, perhaps I would not have made the same decision. Dwelling on the past is meaningless. I am here, and so are you. Today, our goal... I'll answer what I can. Hubris. The Iconians think they are the rulers of the galaxy. They thought so 200,000 years ago, when they were driven off their homeworld by the fire of 1,000 races allied against them. They think so now, when they look at us and see us as children stumbling in the dark. They do not see our strength, our willingness to fight. Use their hubris against them, and the Iconians will fall.
Noted.
I'll answer what I can. You can believe what you want. I honestly don't know. Why would they share their plans with a prisoner? That may make me less valuable in your eyes, but don't be fooled. I know more about the Iconians' operations than they realize. I'll answer what I can. Ah, the crew. The Alachi took them one by one. Yes, you were asking about the crew. A handful of us were still alive when the station went on alert. We took a chance and made our escape. They died nobly. I'll answer what I can. You can believe what
It's time to
will
go.
I be taken into your custody, or will I be left to Tiaru's tender mercies? Very well. It's not like I have a choice in the matter, do I?
Let's get out of here. Hey, one thing I don't like about the narrated voice stuff now is it makes it hard to cut over. Also means I don't have to read out everything. The game does it for me. Ooh, it looks like I got a load screen of infinite waiting. And a belch. I gotta lay off the Dr. Pepper.
When she was taken by the Iconians last year, many of my people thought she would get away with her heinous crimes against the galaxy. With her in my brig, I am happy to know that is no longer a possibility. Of course, I understand that the Romulan Republic's claim on her is not unique. Her crimes are against all of the Alpha Quadrant. To that end, I will ensure that she be made available to all the Alliance leaders for interrogation and debriefing.
Okay.
Well, that wasn't exactly what I'd call a walk in the park. At least we know exactly how the Iconians were controlling the Vaadwaur. And you've certainly put a crimp in their plans. On the upside, as a photonic life form, I'm immune to any attempts at subversion by neural parasites. I'll see to the care of the captives we rescued. In the meantime, it sounds like you and the Romulan Republic Command have a lot to talk about. Sela certainly has a story to tell. But should we believe all of it? I'll put a bug in Admiral Janeway's ear about the situation. That was a joke, by the way. You're going to be busy. Don't overdo... Oh, who am I kidding? Command officers never take their doctor's advice. Just remember that you're not in this alone. Good luck. I suspect things are starting to get interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking I may upgrade to the T6 ships, intelligence ships. I just gotta get the Zen to do it. Zen points. Which I should have by the end of May. I am patient enough to wait. I am very patient. Okay. Hail Starfleet.
Sela and the Iconians? That I did not expect. It's a lot to take in. And while I'm sure the former Empress has some interesting stories to tell, I know the Romulan Republic will want her to answer for her crimes against her people. There will be some tricky back-channel negotiations before this all shakes out. I'll keep you posted as much as I can.
Okay. Cool. So, all that leaves in this is Dust to Dust, and then Blood of the Ancients, and Delta Flight. Let's take a look at this.
We know that attacks from the Iconian forces are imminent. Their gateway technology means that distance has little meaning for them. Once the war begins in earnest, we will be racing to cover too much territory with too few ships. But we cannot fail. To fight a war, we first need a plan. Admiral Quinn has requested your presence at a briefing on Earth's space dock.
Stabilization training, manuals. Huh. Those look interesting. Ooh. Ooh. Transphasic. Huh. Cool. Well, I think I'm gonna do this because I'm gonna do the current featured episode because this one
We have a situation on Kabali Prime. You and
I can
were
do
both
anytime.
asked by name to help. Oh, good to see you.
So, next episode will be Blood of the Ancients. Till then, I'm Thanatos. Peace out.